Soundstripe. Soundstripe.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to Live, Laugh, and Learn.
How's
Back
it
for
going?
another week.
Yes, I am loving that intro. It gets me all energized and in the mood.
Yeah, we should just keep it going. Just keep it going the whole show.
Right, the whole show, just repeat that over and over. How's life been treating you, T-Rob?
Oh, good. It's finally cooling down this part of the world, so it's been nice. I mean, like, God, it was freaking hot summer for sure.
Yeah, and you've been hanging out a little bit with the Hexicans and the Texans and Rad.
Yeah. We ran
Guys.
around Texas a little bit and saw some folks, so it was cool. It was fun. Drink too much beer, that sort of thing. So, but it was a good time for sure.
Absolutely. Those guys are definitely speaking my language. When it comes to marketing, that's definitely like my focus is that in person, that connections that you build that way. So that'll kind of be my spiel as far as today, what we get into as far as marketing. But we have a awesome lineup of guests to talk about a lot of different segments of how we can market as a community.
Yeah, I love it because when we're on the road, we thought it was more like a meetup, but it ended up being more or less like sitting around a table just trying to explain crypto to people. So it was really kind of cool. I mean, we're talking to people that probably don't even know what crypto is at times. So I'm excited for this marketing 101 or 201 or whatever it's going to be. It's going to be a little bit of everything, I'm sure.
Absolutely. So I'm not going to hold these guys back in the back any longer. We have from HEX Postcards, we have Philip Banks, we have Victor, and David James.
Hey guys.
Hey guys,
Hey.
thanks for having us.
Welcome all.
I'm glad you all could be here. I follow you all on Twitter. I respect all of your different viewpoints on marketing when it comes to Hex. And so we wanted to invite you all on here to just kind of start this conversation or continue this conversation because I know we have Telegram groups and all kinds of ways that we communicate with each other about how we can push the message. So I'm really excited that you were all able to be here today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
Yeah. So get into it first. We like to start our show off with just talking about us as a person, our lives. How is it that you guys are so passionate about marketing? Does it exist in your everyday life? Is it something that's a part of your professional life, or is it something that you just focus on within the Hex community? So I'll start with Philip, and then we can kind of go around the room.
Okay, so I've been doing in the printing marketing for over 20 years. It's what I do by profession. I'm a print broker. So I deal with a lot of printing companies, and I get stuff at wholesale. So that's what I do for a living. When it comes to like the hack stuff, it's like more stealth mode. I'm not like David over here. He's a beast. I'll go and throw up signs, around the city or whatever, not actually, approaching people. But also part of that broker deal that I had an idea. I said, okay, so how could I get other people to do this. So what I've done is created another site called hex.promo. And what it does is like I'm passing along all my rates that I get to the any Hexican that wants to do this on their own. So like, yeah. So if you would see the prices there is like dirt cheap compared to anywhere else that you would go. So when it comes to the marketing side, yeah, that's about it.
Absolutely. And I have so much respect for that. There's so many Hexicans within the community that extend their benefits, right? Their resources throughout the whole community to be able to, pump our bags, right? It's
Right.
like this is my profession. I could make money off of this, but by extending this resource to the community, now I'm furthering a message that I support. So really appreciate that, Philip. What about you, Victor? How does marketing fit into your daily life?
Yeah. I'm not really I don't have a marketing background per se. It's not really my profession. I echo a lot of what Philip said. I kind of try to do the guerrilla stuff when I can, and I find I work in field service, so I find a lot of opportunity to stick cards places and kind of chat up Hex when I can. But yeah, no, I definitely wanted to be a part of this because Philip and Togosh created something special, I think, with the Hex Postcards group, and I saw a great opportunity to spread the message of Hex in a forum that doesn't necessarily always get a lot of love, but people kind of in the know that postcards have an effect that people wouldn't necessarily realize. And I think you find that if you talk to people who've had businesses, who are in the market, who are in the industry, it's kind of an old reliable standby to get your brand out there is through a piece of material that you get in the mail. So it's something that I helped out with from the beginning and said, this is something that I can put some extra effort into, some extra labor into to get the message out there. And it's only compounded by the fact that Richard is constantly talking about direct marketing and targeted direct marketing. And it's something I feel proud to do. And I just love when there's a great feeling when you see one of the cards that we sent out comes up into someone's social media and they say, what the heck is this? And they're broadcasting it to all of their followers,
Yeah. Or you get it at your own mailbox. That's always cool.
Right.
Hey, it's working.
Wasn't me. Not allowed to do that, actually, right?
Yeah.
But go ahead, David. Tell us about you and what you got going on.
Well, I'm self-employed now. I got my own IT consulting business that I get a bunch of freelance jobs from. Got out of the corporate world a couple of years ago by no choice of my own, but I just happen to be in a networking town and I'm a networking guy. I know who I am. I stand out. People look, and if you're going to look, might as well get something out of it. Right. And like, I can wear Under Armour, I can wear whatever I want and people notice. Right. I've had custom suits. I did some modeling, not like toot my own horn here, but it's the truth. So why not be, at times when it makes sense, a walking billboard and just have, some stickers or postcards or, I'm not carrying signs around on my back. Those are actually, I'm not on my bike at 5 a.m. doing that. I'll check on them, but it's simple. And the way I think about it, I have no marketing background whatsoever, other than I'm a really good consumer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what do I do? Where are you going to see it? You're going to see it that it's big and bold, and it's literally inception. It's back of your brain. Maybe you see it again somewhere else on the internet, right? Or you're coming up to a stop. You got to sit there with your phone Washington, D.C. flip-flops with L.A. every other year, it seems, for the worst traffic in the world, or the nation at least. And they do that by like accidents and time spent stopped, 100% stopped, right? Those are the metrics they use from Progressive or some shit. So, all right, what are you going to do while you're sitting there on your phone? Look around and then look back at your phone. You know, it's just, you know, populated places. It's simple. I mean, and, you know, I started with, you know, just a few bucks making some hats. I know people everywhere, right, that can do everything. Like, I didn't know anybody like Philip until I met Philip, but that is badass, right? You know, that's how you get through life, I think, right? With making connections, being personable. You know, I could talk to anybody about anything. So
yeah,
use it to my advantage.
Yeah, I hear you. I did something similar when I first got involved in Hex. I had a partnership with a t-shirt printer because I had done a bunch of camp shirts for the school that I was working for at the time. And so we were going out to Vegas to meet up for the very first Hexican meetup. And I was like, well, I can get these shirts for like, you know, like barely over $1, you know, really, really cheap. And I know how much I like to receive free stuff, you know, tangible items. I'm pretty sure if I just walk around and say, hey, would you like a free t-shirt? Then that's going to give me an in to be able to talk to people. And it was crazy the number of people that me and my husband, you know, met and talked to just with the opener of, would you like a free t-shirt?
Yeah. I mean, just hand something out, you know.
yeah.
You
Everybody
can't
likes something
be
free.
Yeah.
right. Well,
Yeah, I
I
mean,
mean,
look how well Zen's doing.
excuse me.
Yeah. Let's not get on that one.
No, I kid. But
You
yeah.
know, but all these opportunities, I mean, I can't imagine everybody in the crypto world that could pump their own bags in the right product, right? That we know is going to stick around, right? Just by going day to day, dropping, all right, instead of spending $50 on Hex, you know, sometimes, which you're going to get a little bit of now, right? You know, $50 on some stickers and some postcards to drop it, you know, the office building or somewhere near the Mercedes dealership. That's one of the beautiful things about this area. There's just a shit ton of money. There's just a shit ton of money, and it's old money. It's corrupt money. It's
money.
Yeah.
If you saw the video I posted today when I was going to McLean, I'm passing the Capital One buildings. They got 3 buildings right there. Like, seriously? And they're almost, you know, maybe 5 years old. It's like, it bothers me.
Yeah. So I guess I don't know, BHEX, if you've got questions, but Philip, I'd really like to know, like, I know you said you were in printing, and you know, one thing that I noticed is like with postcards, because from my background, I used a lot of postcards to get into people's houses, and it worked very well for me. So I'm thinking it must be the same thing going on these days. I haven't done it in a long time, but it's a way to get past like gatekeepers and all that stuff. So fill me in on where this idea came from, and what kind of, was somebody ask you about it, or you just all of a sudden said, I'm going to do this, or what?
Okay, so I believe that it was Richard who said, we already know where all the rich people live, right? And I think Tagash took that idea, and he's the one that came up with doing the postcards. I was in the Hex Design Telegram group, and I think it was that one. And he like posted it up, and I think he posted the rate that he was getting. So I was like, damn, hold on a minute. Like, this guy's getting raped over here. Or sorry. These guys, maybe I could, you know, I could offer him a better rate.
Yeah.
And then in turn, like, he's able to send out more, and it'll pump my bags, you know? So it's like, it's not like I'm doing this out of the goodness of my heart. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, this is, it's going to be good for me as well. So I started talking with him, and, you know, I showed him the the rates. Then we put in a small little order because he doesn't know me. I never met the guy, so all we know is Hex. Between it's mutual thing. So send a little order to him to his zip code. He received it. He liked the quality. He said, "This is perfect. It's better. It's cheaper and it's better quality than what I was doing before." So it just started from there.
Okay. Very cool. Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah, now we've got sent out 400,000 of them suckers all across the United States, and we're going to be sending more throughout the rest of the year.
Now, what are you seeing? Like, I mean, do you guys track like a return on that of like, like if you send out 10,000, I mean, how many are you onboarding? Are you tracking that by any means, or is that up to everybody individually that's doing this?
I think we tried it numerous ways, and Togosh is the data analyst that's way better at figuring it all out. But it's pretty tough. I'm sure we can find some better ways, maybe, but it's just, is it worth the effort, right, Vic?
Yeah, you've got kind of two ways of really filling out whether somebody received it. Now, I mean, we've put QR codes on some of them, and we've kind of tracked the hits that way. But I think a better barometer of as to like if people are receiving it is third-party feedback, specifically negative feedback when you see people that receive cards and then they post it on their their social media and whatnot. And yeah, I mean it's undeniable that it's getting the message across because there's people that complain about it, and they complain about it loudly online, and that message just amplifies,
Yeah, that's always my favorite.
Good press.
When they post the postcard online, and I'm like, you realize you just did exactly what we wanted you to do.
Right. Right.
You just proved that it was working, but it brought you to crypto Twitter. So thank you. Well done.
Thanks for the free marketing.
Yeah, I think it's the same as when they the Hex scam thing, when people start shouting that, it drives more people to Hex. So I'm just like, keep going. So anyway.
Well, our Telegram grew quite significantly one day.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah, Richard consistently talks about us, and he consistently brings people to the Telegram and to the website. And I mean, that's all we want, is want people to be involved, because it's the most important thing you can do short of buying and staking Hex, I think, is to talk about it and using any media you can to.
Yeah,
I'm definitely a big believer that the support we have, especially when it comes from Richard, he has the biggest audience. The more he supports that we do individually as community members to market, the more successful each thing will be. I mean, I know he doesn't work for any of us, so we can't require him. But I do like it a lot. Him support community initiatives.
Absolutely. Like,
yeah, even David James got a shout out on the last stream, man. That was so cool, man. Right off the bat.
That just makes me smile, man. I think I smiled for like a day and a half. I was like, I was totally not expecting anything. It's Hexo stream, and it's like, what just happened there? I'm like, but I loved it. I loved the passion that he said it with it. He was like, because you could tell he meant it. He's like, man, this motherfucker's kicking ass. Why don't you guys go do that in all of the cities? You want something to be great, you got to make it great, right?
And it reminds me a lot of what like y'all do, Kaylin, the KSB team. I mean, you're out there promoting Hex face to face, promoting Pulse Chain face to face on the ground with people. And I mean, that's you can't buy content like that.
Yeah, I wish we would have got a similar response when our situation was brought up. That's not exactly the way he responded. But since we're talking about it, and we do see what we do as marketing, our events, it is not scaled to the same level, but we look at it like people are going to do traveling, partying. They're going to do what they're going to do regardless of, you know, what
Where it
coin
comes
they're
from.
involved in, right? So if you can combine those efforts, right? So instead of just going on a cruise or a vacation, but now you go on a cruise or a vacation with a purpose, where now everybody that is there is branded in Hex or Post Chain or whatnot, then that seems to, you know, create a buzz around the area. Like, who are these people? Why are they here? It's the same thing you see with, you know, fraternities, sororities, and all the other groups. Like when they are at their convention or at their events and they're branded and they're together, they ask questions. Who are they? What are they about? And that provides you an opening to be able to have real dialogue with people.
Yeah, I think you and I talked about
Absolutely.
this, about you know, there's probably no better way of getting people in a comfortable setting and then showing them what you're all about. And I think once they're comfortable, it's a lot easier to, you know, sell them on what you're presenting to them. It's kind of like in the service business. If you can ever get in the door, you're pretty much going to sell them, you know. And that's,
Yeah.
because I come from the service business, and that's how we always thought. Like, if I can get inside somebody's house, then I'm probably going to sell them what I'm trying to sell them. So same thing. So I got a question for all you guys. What have you seen? I know we got, you know, Hex postcards, but as individuals, what have you guys seen that's really been the most effective, like, marketing tool for you individually? And we talked about it earlier, David. You kind of mentioned just like, you know, I see your physique and you work out all the time and all that, man. So I'm jealous, but I'm trying. But I'd love to know, like, from you guys, like, here's one thing that I've been doing that really works well.
I guess I'll go consistency, and you know, you just gotta keep doing it. That's with everything, right? If you have a vision and you're trying to do something, you're not going to just do something once and, you know, the guy with the $5 million house goes, you know what, I think that's a great idea, I'm going to do it right now, and then you just stop. Cool, we got an 80-cent pump, we're done. Right? No, it doesn't work like that. It's just being consistent. I don't know exactly if anything has worked, but I know that for $350 and 50 yard signs, I've got at least 20 of them that haven't moved in 3 months.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's a lot of eyeballs, and it only takes one
Right.
in this area, you know.
Yeah, I've
But
noticed
yeah,
that with some with stickers I've put out. You know, I mean, just to build on that guerrilla marketing concept. I mean, I've had
yeah,
opportunities where I put up stickers where I thought, oh well, they're gonna pull that out in a, you know, in a day, but it's still sitting there months later. You know, in prominent places, in grocery stores and you know, places where people walk by constantly. And but yeah, no, that and I like Philip's got the website he touched on earlier, hex.promo, has a lot of great material, you know, especially it might, you know, David James likes the postcards. I like the little business cards. I carry those in my pocket. I stick those on, you know, car windows and whatnot, and stick them in ATM machines. And anytime anyone asks me about crypto or finance or whatever, I always have one of those on hand, and I, you know, give them out. I give them out like candy, and I say, this is the thing. You know, this is what's going to change your life.
Yeah. I got
Another,
Go
sorry.
ahead.
Yeah. Like another thing that we've been doing, or because I work with the How to Post guides as well, and we put together these videos to do these Twitter storms. So it's like we get everybody together at a certain time and try to like make a big push together at the same time. So that's another thing we've been doing.
okay.
Yeah. And just on the topic of business cards, I want to give a huge shout out to Brian Magruder and RP Vegas. They're the ones who have been making like the gold or silver, these really thick business cards. And, you know, they're a little more pricey, but every single person that I've gave one of these business cards to have been so impressed, like to the point to where
Did a double take, you know.
yeah, to where they
they're
like
nice.
kept asking me questions. Where like the typical business card, it's like, okay, yeah, I give it to every server, every service employee. I give the regular business cards to. But when I like actually give somebody one of those gold ones, oh, then it's like, so wait, what do you do again? Why is this card so heavy? Like, what is this real gold? Like, they just have so many questions, and I love it.
I want to do a quick shout out. I'm looking at the comments here. I got there's David Lee's in the comments. I met him at the Texas token.
Super guy.
Yeah, he's a nice, really nice dude. They went through Texas and did a couple stops. Tim was mentioning that earlier, and yeah, I brought a bunch of hex cards with me, and I chatted up anyone who wanted to listen about hex. Say, hey, take a handful of these suckers, and I mean, little by little, that's all it is. It's incrementally, and you just slowly getting the message out there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So
Consistency. I like consistency. That sounds that's key to almost anything in life, really.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Whoops.
What is that? Was that just an icebreaker, or what was that?
Yeah.
yes,
I mean,
that's our segment piece to say it's
Okay.
time to loosen up. It's time to loosen up.
What did I miss?
so it's laugh time, guys.
Yeah.
So we always try to pull, like, if you've seen something in the community, or it doesn't have to be in the community, like something, society or whatever, that's funny. What I mean, David, you seen anything recently that just was funny and you'd like to share?
Within the community, some of
It
the
doesn't
things
have
that
to
are
be in the
funny?
community. I mean,
A good
whatever.
marketing story, a weird encounter, giving out a sticker, anything like that.
No, nothing too weird. I'm still seeing. And don't hate me if you're one of these people, but I think most people aren't, and most Hexicans aren't. I still see people like 5:30 in the morning by themselves out, supposedly getting a fresh air walk, just like they should be, with a mask on. And I'm like, are you taking my signs? You're the only one else out here. Are you taking my signs? I confronted him. I was like,
Yeah.
What about
Oh, Philip, you're getting worse, man.
Philip, you sound like a really bad cold, man. Your mic is.
I thought that was a voice changer for a second.
as we like to say, wrecked?
Yeah. We can't hear you, Philip.
See,
No, it's like really garbled.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute him until he.
Yeah, killing me.
Yeah, you might want to refresh or something. But yeah, no, I mean, I guess it's kind of funny in a twisted way. We keep seeing these hacks, man. It's sad, and it's come on Pulse Chain, right? I mean, we keep seeing the hack on BSC, the hack on that what is it, the Mango thing on Solana, and Hex user unaffected. Buy your Hex. And just get ready for Pulse Chain. That's all you got to do. Get a little Ethereum for gas money, and just don't play around with these weird ass coins, man.
Yeah. I think your mic shot there, Philip. You might jump off and back on. Might work. Well, you guys were more into the learn. We were looking for more laughs, man. So we're trying to loosen up here. I know B Hex has probably got something. She always has a good material. So what do you got? You got anything funny?
We've actually been laughing this whole stream, if you really think about it. I mean, it always comes back. So I'm sure even when we get into the learn, something will come and tickle us a bit.
All right, let's learn.
Yeah.
So let's talk about as a community as a whole, right? So we know that one initiative is to support Hex Postcards. Well, what else? What else can we be doing as a community to support each other, to share resources?
I like this. I like talking on other people's streams and just getting, because we can get insulated in our little circles, and we think, everybody's heard of this, everybody's seen this video, or this, that, and the other, and then you think, well, wait a minute, what about people who are new to this? What about people who are, more focused on this or that? And just so having these guest appearances and just telling other people what aspect you're involved in is a great way to kind of expand your horizons and find out that the community is a lot more multifaceted than maybe you previously knew about.
Yeah.
How do I sound now?
Oh, there you
Much
are.
better.
There you
much
are.
better.
All right, so check this out. we were all having a discussion of like, what is APY? Does a normal person know what APY is, and this and that? So David over here, he goes out into a Target, right? And he starts asking random people. He starts asking random people on camera, "Hey, do you know what APY stands for?" And everybody's looking at him like he's a crazy guy. To me, bro, it was so funny. Like everybody was like, nobody knew what APY means.
One person.
Yeah. To me, that was hilarious, dude.
Yeah, that was Dixon Piper. He said he'd give me $200, and I was like, all right. Yeah,
I love that guy.
$200. I'm like, I'll go. I did it like 2 hours later and chopped up I didn't even really have to chop up the video. I was like pretty impressed with my skills on that one.
That was awesome, dude.
So all we needed to do was wait for Philip to get his connection back for the good laugh.
Yeah, there you go.
That was great.
There you go.
I forgot about that. Like, it's such a whirlwind crypto is, right? And it's like you were saying, it's easy to get caught up in any bubble within a bubble, especially on Twitter, and you're limited on characters. So it's like, look, I know what you're saying after you're commenting on my stuff. I just didn't have time to spell it all out because we dissect everything. Like, and so I think something that would be beneficial for the community as well to understand, like not just with Hex Postcards, but any of these marketing tools or efforts, the things that they buy that they like, if they have skills that can reproduce, things that would help, or they're affiliated with somebody here or affiliated with somebody there, especially the younger guys, like just incorporate yourself and start a business, right? Mm-hmm. You'll reap some extra benefits with tax write-offs. Like, BHEX, I know part of that cruise is your business, right? So expenses. I'm writing off a trip on a cruise. Cool. Sure, you got to pay for it up front. So you do have to have some money. Get yourself stable first. But write that shit off.
Yeah. No, I think you're 100% correct. I think that's the best thing people can do to further what we're trying to accomplish as a whole is to bring yourself to the forefront, what it is that you do. Like, I love what Dipwetter does as far as creating. Look, if you're a smoker and you know that there's a ton of smokers, then why not brand those items that we use regularly all the time, and always have a message, always be presenting. Like T-Rob and Bullish, certain people in the community will say, hey, I can help make an opener. I can help, do a little editing. But they put themselves out there, right? Because it's a lot more difficult. You see who the creators are. You see who it is that could probably use some support, so message them and say, hey, look, I got this awesome idea, or, I can add this in this way, and that kind of support goes a long way. I probably wouldn't be, doing this show right now if I didn't have the support that I have, from T-Rob.
Oh, wow. Hey, you're making me blush. It's hey, it's collaboration. That was our first show, right? Collaboration, and everybody's talking, and I think it all comes together. Is like we're so much stronger when we collaborate together, right? And you see all these people kind of boxing each other and crap, and it's like getting old. But man, we have some talented freaking folks in this community. If we come together, man, I'm telling you what, we can move
Unstoppable.
mountains, dude. I mean, it's like, and that's I want to collab with people. I mean, and I know BX, you're always collabing with people, and all these guys are too. That's why they're on here. So, yeah, good
And
stuff.
we're all volunteers at the end of the day. You know,
Yeah.
we're just putting effort in where we think it needs it and where we can best help. And I just want to get a shout out to Marco and Paulie Wood. Man, I saw them in the chat. I love both those guys.
Oh
And
yeah.
can't wait to see them again.
That's why I got kicked out earlier. I thought I could comment somewhere, and I'm like, do I need to be logged in? And I clicked log in, and I got rugged.
Oh, I like this challenge, Marco. I like that, man.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I know I've been loving, I don't know if you guys have been seeing all the different videos that Marco has been putting up.
Good
But
stuff.
he's essentially been, saying what I think most of us are thinking, right? We understand why Richard, he explains it to us why he has chosen outrage marketing. But he always has this caveat that somehow what he was doing before didn't work. And then I always laugh at that because I'm like, it did work though, because like we all wouldn't be here
Right.
if
No,
it didn't
100%.
work. And so people like Marco have been challenging him to get back to the basics, right? Get back to the education, get back to, just having conversation. Even if you don't have, legitimate updates on PostChain, you can still just go back to teaching, because every day there is a new person coming into crypto.
Yeah.
I always tell this story about how early we are in crypto. There was a car show here in San Diego, and me and my husband, we went out and we're just doing little interviews, really trying to talk about Hex, but just trying to get like a baseline of where people are in crypto. And we were like, hey, could you name 3 cryptos? Like, just what are the top 3 that come to mind? And the only thing we got was some people would say Bitcoin. A few people were like, oh, that dog one, the doggy one, and then
Which one?
one guy, he was of the day, because he goes, oh no, I can definitely name, he said Bitcoin, Doge, and crypto. And I said, wait, what's your third one? He said crypto. And I was like, yeah, no, we're really early. that's not one. That's all of them.
Wow.
So yeah, we're at the beginning of this thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Very much so. Like, I think, Bitcoin's definitely hit its top for a long time, but I was talking about it with Hexi this morning. There's only 320 million crypto users worldwide right now, right? That's not even the entire US, and it's gonna explode at some point. But as to Marco's challenge, I would like to see some of the older stuff. I seeing Hexo's really genuine long stream was really good. It seemed like he was just one of the guys again, which is really cool to see, instead of, all right, let me pull it out. Who do I gotta, murder today with it and beat over the head with it, right?
Or what clothes do I gotta put on, with bling bling.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know that it has the effect that he wants it to have. I think that it brings attention, but does it bring loyal community members, right? Does it bring people who want to see you rise to top leadership, to be a vocal forefront of crypto? I don't know that it's having that impact, as opposed to just being,
Yeah.
Interesting.
Outrageous.
Outrageous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For its own sake. Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
what you mean. And that's one of the things I'm going to try to do. Whoa, what was that? I want to try to maybe be a little bit more out there with my face and promoting Hex at the same time. I want to teach people more about blockchain in general. Like, sure, if you buy Hex, wonderful, you're smart, right? But like the Uber driver the other day had no idea about crypto. And I'm like, a lot of, I think he was from Ghana. And I was like, I've heard Africa uses Cardano a lot. And I was telling him about it. I'm like, because he was literally like driving me around on the phone with Bank of America or somebody. And I'm like, banks, huh? And he's like, they fuck you in the ass. They, you know. And I was like, why don't you send crypto? It's like, it costs you 2 cents and it'll be instant. He's like, I kind of heard about that. I'm like, well, here's what you do. And he was very, like, it seemed like he picked it up like that. He was like, all right, so I got to get my money over here. I got to do this, do that. And I was like, yep, just, be careful about your wallet.
Yeah, and when I was over there, we had a party on Sunday night. Like I said, that Texas road trip with the Texan Token Boys with the Crypto Heartbeat and Rags to Riches.
Yeah.
They were out there, and for those that don't know, their project involves basically bringing in a lot of folks.
Legislation, right?
Well, yeah, legislation, but more so the actual project itself, the Texan Token, is aimed at onboarding the people within the Texas nationalist movement, people that are very open to the idea of if the fiat system is broken beyond repair, and that blockchain is a potential way to move forward. And so, kind of picking back off what you were saying, Dave, it's you've got these people that are very receptive to blockchain, and specifically Pulse chain, with its low costs and its ease of transactions and whatnot. And I really appreciate the way they're doing it. And so that that's definitely one way we can educate people and market to them.
Yeah, I mean, it's I saw the same thing out there as, like for Rags, Brandon Rags Riches, he literally sit at a table for 2 hours with people surrounding him that didn't know anything about crypto, and he just talked to them about that. And actually, it's funny you guys talked about that, because he came to me about 2 days ago and said, "Hey, I want you to start working on a training module that we can use. We can really nail it down to like beginners, intermediate, advanced, where people really get it, and make it really simple." Because I think what's happening is we all know crypto, and sometimes us even explaining it, we're talking over people's heads, so we gotta, I know this sounds bad, dumb it down and make it really simple, and like, okay, this is the wallet, this is how and then just, because we all started there, right? I mean,
yeah, sure. And to bring us back a little bit, I think that's a lot of what Hex Postcards is trying to do, is just that initial touch to where people get something in their mailbox. Yeah, sure, a bunch of them are going to throw it away, but other people are going to, maybe it's going to sit on their counter. Maybe somebody else will see it. Maybe someone will go to hex.com, and that's ultimately the goal, I think.
Yeah.
That's a win. I mean, that's a big win. If you can just get that person to go to hex.com and look and just look into it, planting the seed. And you can't beat that marketing where you get it in front of somebody and then they make an active effort to go to the location where you're directing them.
Yeah, and I think the piece of what I was kind of speaking to is, a lot of times people go to hex.com and they go, well, what do I do now? Or wherever, whatever crypto it is. And I think it really, and B Hex probably can speak of this because she's on the road a lot. When you get around people face to face, you really can tell that, like, they have no clue of what you're talking about. And it's like, you can't teach that on screen right now. Like we couldn't teach that without being face to face with them, or
Sure.
making it really like a simplified, like press this button, move to the next screen, type deal. So anyway, we're moving that way. So hopefully the world, I mean, either you learn it or the world's going to pass you, right? I mean, that's what's going on right now.
Absolutely. That's what I tell everybody. I'm like, look, I don't tell everybody, like, you can tell if they don't know anything really quick off the bat how much time you got to talk, and like, if they're interested, etc., pick up on cues and take it from there. But I think moving forward, it's getting cold in a lot of parts of the US, so the outdoor tent stuff, which I have plans for, it just doesn't, my weekends don't always work out for one reason or another. That early Saturday is me and the boys' time, but that's also what farmers market is. But I've been toying with the idea of maybe just popping up one day near the monument. Maybe there's a rally or something or anything. You never know where I might
one of your
appear,
Hex,
right?
Hex.com signs, 38%
Right.
everyone.
My husband, he
No,
loves.
I'm always scheming ideas. Who can I get in front of that could potentially, like, or if I see somebody who's gotten in front of some big people, not even about crypto, but like, I saw some random dude. It wasn't really a random guy. He was like an independent journalist or something, but somehow he got some way to where he was close enough to like AOC, and I forgot what he was yapping at her about, but he got her attention real quick.
Alex Stein.
Because I'm close enough to where I could literally just walk around DC and like, sooner or later, everybody's going to know who I am at some point. It's like, it doesn't matter. I walked around the Capitol buildings a lot in the last 10 years, and you just start to know where things are and people are. And like for that guy, that instance, we got, hey, AOC, what do you know about hex.com? Just real quick like that, right? You could do anything. It's just, there's opportunity everywhere. Right. But I'm not an outrage marketing kind of guy. Maybe if I was still single and didn't have a kid, you might see some more real me, which, if I start a stream up, I'll get it.
I wouldn't mind seeing
but
some more.
Starting OnlyFans.
Oh man, no, mine will be like probably long story AMA format, because I don't.
You strip to your underwear and go to Times Square like Marco's gonna do, right?
Dude, I'll get in this thing right here, right there on the Capitol steps, and do burpees until they kick me out.
We have some artists. I'm pretty sure Johnny Chaos could paint
body paint,
nice little body paint. Just want to give a quick shout out to Hexy Quinn. Thank you for becoming a KSB YouTube member. Awesome. DJ Pollywood earlier in the chat also became a KSB YouTube member. We really appreciate that. We use we are monetized, but our goal is to grow the channel to be able to continue to reduce the cost of our events, to be able to onboard even more. For us, it's never been about making money on these events. We always try to streamline the cost to where we can bring out as many people as possible. So thank you for supporting that effort.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. Like, that's what Hex Postcards really is. Nobody's making any money off of it. We're probably spending money that we're not accounting for and just going like, it's whatever, right? Yeah. Like one of the things I did was Matt Garabedian's book, like the Hex Phenomenon. I was like, dude, send me 50 of them. I'm gonna drop, because I live up. I mean, you see me do burpees near the train station on the bridge. So like,
I got that right back here.
That's yeah, like the VRE is like the metro, but it's just a commuter train, so it's like real nice, real clean. It's like $8 each way. So a lot of these government types and soccer moms and whatnot that are going into Pentagon or wherever in DC, they're on there. Just drop a book, drop a postcard.
Yeah, I got the one
Leave.
Black Hexicans got is this one right here. Yeah.
Which one is
I think that's
that?
that's
I
the
haven't
one you
seen
got
that
back
one.
there, huh? Yeah, that's
The
that's
same
an older
book?
one. Yeah, no. This is on Amazon. It's got some European, I think a Norwegian guy wrote it.
Huh.
Okay.
But yeah, look it up. I'll show it to you later. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have pretty much everything that's came out. I got the Hex notebook. I got 2 different Hex books. I've got more merch than anybody probably. Like, I mean, even right here, I could just like reach out and probably grab like 3 different Hex hats. It's
Yeah.
just.
Every time I see you, you got
Uh,
something different. So
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't go out really in public without representing,
Yeah.
occasionally you'll see some post chain, but for the most part, it's Hex. It's that gradient for me.
Yeah.
yeah.
Slick.
Yeah. They're both
Yeah.
slick. Like it just depends like on the day or what I've got. Like I love this pulse chain hat, you know. Like, and that's what I think it's all about. Like my buddy owns a clothing line. So I say, you know, can you make this? And he goes, yeah. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm just going to give these away. I want to see these because I'm a snob about my stuff sometimes, right? I'm like, all right, good hat. You know, I got hats galore over here. And I'm like, want to just test the quality of the product and, you know, send me 5 or whatever. All right, y'all want one? Y'all want one?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah. Marketing 101.
yeah. And
There you
my
go.
buddy that he made the tent and a couple of these hats. What else did he make that everybody seemed to like? That hoodie, the one more businessy kind of hoodie. He did the embroidery for it, but he owns and has owned for like 25 years something called carlotstore.com, and literally like everything. He makes big flags for your car lots, your gas stations. I mean, and I've seen his house, so I know he's legit. Him and his twin brother, right? Like I basically grew up with these guys, and so if you can support anybody and your friends, like, you know, build your table. Don't like. That's one of the things about that I see too much of nowadays with any negotiation, with any sales, with any customer services. Somebody wants 59% and the other one, you know, gets 41. And it's like, can we do like 51.49, you know, out of any transaction, good deal? Like nobody has to feel like they got robbed in one way or another, you know, paying gas fees for, you know, 400,000 coins, 400 trillion coins. Sorry, I had to get that joke in there. That was terrible.
So what else we got here? What else you guys want to talk about? B-Hex, what do you got? You got any more questions for these guys? I think she's muted. She's had enough.
Yeah,
of you
you're
guys.
muted.
Mute.
Yeah. I got people over here in the chat demanding that I give Marco his rent, so I was trying to get over there and do it.
Marco,
I'll definitely plug the Hex postcards one more time because I mean I think
Yeah.
it's important and I think it's something that anyone could do. I mean, you know, Philip made a great website is hex.promo, and he's got a lot of little things there. And I couldn't stress this enough to people. You get yourself a package of these business cards. It's like 20 bucks, 25 bucks. Get you some stickers. Do some, you know, spend a little bit on that and just hand them out to people. Just have it in your pocket. And of course the postcard project is something that, you know, I'm passionate about because I think that's what, you know, I think that's what Richard has talked about several times, that it's direct targeted mailers, direct targeted marketing is something very, very important, and it is something that we can all get behind. And yeah, and I'm glad y'all gave us a forum to talk a little bit more about it.
Yeah, appreciate that a lot.
And then I think there is the event coming up on the 15th. Victor, are you going to that? Do you want to talk about that?
Oh yeah, in Texas, yeah. Davin is hosting a meetup in Georgetown. So all Texas Hexicans, anybody in Texas or in the surrounding area, or I mean, anywhere, if y'all want to come out, but specifically Texas Hexicans in Central Texas, we're going to do a meetup on the 15th in Georgetown, and I'm going to be there. I think T. Rob's going to be there, and I'd be excited to see y'all.
Yeah, it should be fun. Should be a fun time.
Yeah.
We got Philip back for a second. Philip, anything you want to say before we do our final shills?
B Hex, T Rob, thanks for having us on. I hope to do this again. We're just here to try to pump everybody's bags, including our own, and whatever you guys think that how we could improve the campaign, we invite you to come to t.me/hex postcards. Like that you were talking about, making it simpler to onboard someone, I think is very important. And if we could show that on a postcard, step 1, step 2, step 3, it'll be more effective. So we invite y'all to come through and let's work together and pump our bags, man.
Well, thank you, man. That's a good idea too. That's a really good idea.
Yeah, one thing to point out real quick before we leave is that we've got all the tools at hexpostcards.com and also the Telegram t.me/hexpostcards. We've got all the tools for if you want to do it yourself. We've got all the tools necessary, from the design, the vendors we use, the costs that we pay, everything. You can do it yourself. There's no middlemen involved if you don't want there to be. We've got all the resources available for anybody who's interested in helping and maybe want to do it themselves. So we can be as little or as much involved as you want.
Definitely.
Good point, Victor. Thank you.
Yeah, that was great. Like, to take over your city, and if not, throw a few shekels and, we'll print a couple more postcards and, do our thing. And,
for sure.
Can you guys share where your platform of choice is and the easiest place for people to follow up with you? I know you guys mentioned the Telegram for Hex Postcards, but individually, is there a place where people can communicate or find you?
Yeah, I'm Twitter at DavidJames1. Same thing on TikTok. Mostly my crypto stuff and maybe motivation is on Twitter. You'll find me sometimes shirtless on Instagram, which is at davidjames.fit. But I like to send everybody around to see who's really paying attention, because it's funny to me to get judged on things. And it's like, well, if you would have you're not a story watcher, so all you know is the one thing I posted from 2 months ago. And, so you got to put the whole story together, which I'm going to try to do for myself and for everybody at one point, to really maybe write a book.
There you go.
Who knows? But I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you,
I have at Vic HFN on Twitter. I've been different names because Twitter gives me a hard time, but you could find me on Telegram, or on Twitter, and if you see me around, I DM's open. I'll be happy to talk with anybody.
Very nice.
Cool.
You can find me Phil_Banks on Twitter, and I think it's the same on Telegram.
Perfect.
Very cool.
T-Rob, anything, any final announcements or anything?
No, I just wanted to say thank you guys. Like, we need more of this, and what you guys are doing is what the whole community should be doing, instead of talking about it, actually doing stuff and being about it. So that's kind of what I want to leave with, is I appreciate what you guys are doing and the work you're putting in.
Amen. Thank you, man.
Thank you very much.
So I appreciate you all for being here. All of our time is precious, so I don't want to hold you, much longer. I'm just going to say this last thing to the chat and to the people out there. If you are in or around California for the beginning of December, I encourage you to come and visit ksb.tv to see all the events that we have lined up for the Hex birthday. And we will leave you with this final video of all of our events. And we'll see you guys next time.
Take care, everybody.
Goodbye, y'all.